Francesco Abbruzzino with the Scoop News. You see on here the roundabout. That's actually the Jacranda roundabout. It's a tutorial video that was put out a couple years ago, maybe a year ago, when they started construction. But I thought it was interesting because a local magazine, independent magazine, Sarasota magazine, put out an article basically covering the roundabout and will improvements help decrease the amount of deaths at the Venice Circle of Death roundabout. It's interesting because it's like, well, the improvements were done a while ago. So the article's a little confusing. I'm not sure the direction she was going in with it, but or he, I'm not even sure. She. So they talked about the roundabout and how there is actually several in the county. I think 12 traffic circles will be the total. They're building them all throughout the area. This was an initiative that was brought on by a guy that's now passed away. And years ago, he tried putting the roundabout at Venice Avenue and 41. I found out about it on The Scoop. I put it out, and a letter writing campaign started with the mayor's office. The mayor's office contacted some people, and they basically scrubbed that. Back to this Jacranda thing, it was pretty interesting because the numbers she pulled out were intriguing, fascinating about this roundabout, which opened back in 2011 and has had one of the highest crash rates out there. Surprisingly, no fatalities, as the article noted, and that's pretty much accurate. In 2017, the Department of Transportation, as we all know, came out and said, look, we got to fix this place. There's a ton of accidents, okay? I'm not sure of the average, but basically there was over 60 accidents per year starting from 2012, because 2011 was the opening year. There was only like some in the 30s. And every year but 2017, it dropped below 60, and I think that's due to the fact that the new circle was built midway through the year there. So they covered how they spent $1 million on this and how it has decreased the number of incidences there, which it has. It's a lot more easier to drive. There's been 21, according to this report, this year, 50 last year. Here's the thing, though, and I'm not sure, I put this out before, but knowing most of the individuals and how they follow stuff, they just don't pay attention, because I notice I put stuff all the time, and people are surprised about it a couple weeks later, months later. It always amazes me. This area, the Venice Hospital did a traffic study, and a couple months ago, they came to the county and said, look, if we move forward with our facility, this roundabout has to go. Based upon our traffic study, this roundabout is outdated. It's an outdated form of transportation for that area. They need lights and stuff. And I'm sitting here thinking, back then, it was pretty close to when the construction had just ended. And I'm like, wait a second, we just spent $1 million on here. Their traffic study is telling them that it's now no longer feasible to have that the traffic flows too much. Then you got to factor in a lot of stuff. At that circle, they have a car dealership going in. They have that elderly facility going up. They have the hospital that's going a couple blocks down the road. They have all those new homes at that, Water Creek, West Creek, whatever it's called there, that subdivision. A lot of construction going on there. And a lot of that land for sale along Jacranda. And so now, Venice Hospital basically, and I shared this, I can't remember how long ago, basically said the circle's got to go. So this wasn't mentioned in the article. They did mention that Venice Hospital is coming in there. I don't think they knew that Venice Hospital actually did a traffic study saying that it has to go. But here's a couple things, folks, when you look at this. I listened to Boone when he pitched the car dealership about a year ago, and I put it out and nobody paid attention. I think only one person came in protesting it, and then a couple months ago people were like surprised by it. When they do these studies, they do a couple things. A, they do it usually in the slow time of the season when the snowbirds are all gone. B, they only do it for that particular project. And this is something, I'm interviewing the Democratic candidate for Sarasota County tomorrow, one of them. And it's something I would have asked her opponent if we had time. We didn't have enough time. He was a little late for the interview. But actually, I think I did hit him on this one. I didn't hit them on the hospital and the roundabout. I hit them on infrastructure and why people make all these plans, yet they don't plan for infrastructure issues. And what they do is, like with Boom, he brought in the car dealership and he said, look, it's going to be minimal. And I remember him going through the traffic study regarding the car dealership. It's going to be minimal impact on traffic. And all the county administrators were like, oh, good. All of them knowing that the elderly residents was going to be going up soon. All of them knowing about the car dealership. All of them knowing that the hospital plans, and more than likely it was going to go through. But instead of looking at it in totality, they only focused on that one thing, the car dealership. And they do this. If you watch, I watched all the cities. That's why when I interviewed these people, like the county commissioners and that, I'm surprised because I know more information than them. It's like, well, are you running because you want to help because you're informed, or are you running just for the power? This stuff, they do this on all these projects where they only look at one thing, but yet all of them, the elected officials, the Booms of the world, the developers, know there's several things there, and in totality, it's going to have a major impact on infrastructure. But for some reason, they only look at the one project. But I thought it was interesting. So this lady had that article out there. It's in Sarasota Magazine, I believe. It's a real short article talking about how the traffic incidences have dropped with concern with the hospital coming in. And one thing I didn't want to note, again, is the hospital did do a traffic study, and they say that circle's got to go, lights have to be there. All right, everybody, this has been Francesco Abbruzzino with The Scoop. And let's shut this off now.